Hello, loves. Ladies, I'm doing an ongoing series this month on self-love. It's a very important topic right now more than ever. And so we've touched base on it the last two episodes. So today I want to talk about a little bit further into how we take what men do and respond to us personally and turn it into toxic thoughts about ourselves. And I see women do it all the time. If men respond this way several times, different men, we think we're the problem. And I know where this comes from because I've had to deal with it myself. And it comes from repeated behaviors. If we see a pattern of men doing specific things with us, we think we're the problem. And that's the problem, is you thinking that you are the problem. And I even saw a coach, say this to millions of people, that you're the problem because you have certain beliefs about yourself and you're training them to respond that way. However, here's the thing. Over time, you can train someone how to treat you, but not when you just met them. And so when you hear a male coach say that to millions of women, it just plays into the stories that we've had, that we've inherited from generations of women in our past, where we're responsible for the way men treat us. And so what I've come to know in my journey and my education in psychology is there is a certain aspect of it that we need to own if we have beliefs that are derogatory about ourselves. And then we want to work on those. That's wonderful. And I touched on this last episode. We're never responsible for someone else's behavior. But to internalize it because we've had several guys not follow through on a call, a date, or whatever have you, and we turn it into depression because we're certain that there's a flaw that we need to fix about ourselves in order for them to treat us better. So we're victimizing ourselves by gaslighting ourselves into believing that we're the problem, and we're not. And I cannot say this enough times. You really have to pay attention to how you treat yourself and how you take responsibility for what other people say and do. I've talked to so many women that have the same issue, and it's systemic around the world. We really have to learn to love ourselves enough to know that we're not the problem. And that if someone doesn't show up in a way that they call us or follow through on a date or whatever it is, it's their issue. Now, with that said, certainly we can look at ourselves and say, I wonder if I might want to look at that on my end and see how I might do something differently. And that doesn't mean you have a flaw. It doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It just means that maybe you have a behavior that maybe you want to look at. We do this with curiosity and love. So we check in with ourselves. Are we feeling a little bit clingy? Or we want a relationship so bad that we're overlooking red flags? Are we not feeling lovable right now because of certain situations that's going on in our life? And those are all very wonderful things to look at, but they're not flaws. They don't need to be fixed. we can give ourselves love through that process of saying, you know what? Maybe my behavior is a bit clingy. And so maybe I might want to shift that. But that doesn't mean you're responsible for the way he treated you. A lot of the coaches out there make things look black and white, and they're really not. There's a lot of gray area. We all have room to grow. We all have aspects of ourselves that we might be better off looking at and shifting. That includes every single person on this planet. That doesn't mean we're not lovable. That doesn't mean we have flaws, that we're broken and we can't be fixed. Those are very, very harsh black and white terms. If I've learned anything in my personal growth over the past 32 years, it's that the most profound thing we can do in life is to be aware of our actions, our words, and everything in between, and just pay attention to the results of those. So, like, for instance, a guy texts you and you've been waiting to hear from him all day. And then you all of a sudden feel this sense of urgency. Oh my God, I got to text him back right now because I don't want him to think I'm ignoring him. Well, see, the issue isn't you. It's the fact that the fear that you have is causing you to respond in a way that feels urgent and needy. And so I invite you to take a breath and pause and breathe and really ask yourself, do I need to respond right now? And what kind of message will I be sending if I text him back with this sense of urgency? And then for myself, what would I do? Maybe I'd just go take a hot bath and give myself a pedicure and have a glass of wine and really just be present with myself. And then I can respond from a place of calm, present, and confidence. So many women around the world believe there's a scarcity of men. There's not. There never has been. That's another story we've been told. And that belief in itself causes a lot of issue between women amongst themselves. The competition, the catty behavior, the sense of urgency, the desperation, the need for a relationship in order to feel like you have some sense of worth in the world. And that comes from scarcity, that there's not enough men in the world. So self-love is taking a look at that and sit with it and see if it's benefiting you to have those beliefs that there's not enough men in the world and that you really need to cling on to the one that you got, and all the different subconscious beliefs that go along with that. Because it really is like a pyramid. You have your baseline, underlying fear-based thought, and then you have all these other thoughts that are piled up on top of it. And so in my work, what I teach people to do is to look at things with curiosity. And not from a place of judgment or needing to fix yourself. And watch what you say when you're around other women. Do you need validation from them that you're okay and it's not you? It's okay to get validation. It really is. It's okay to have support. It's okay to have other women tell you you're beautiful and wonderful and give that great feedback. And we also want to have those beliefs about ourselves. And also notice how we respond to other women when we're at groups when we're not feeling good about ourselves. And how does that get projected onto other women? Do you become snarky or competitive or one up them? Do you have to somehow take them down because they have more confidence than you do? And that's an internal job. Your self-confidence is only up to you, and that's it. No one can give you that. And it is work. It's not necessarily easy. And we can't think ourselves through that. We have to actually feel it in our being that we are worthy of love, worthy of having someone, and that we have confidence in ourselves. So this week, let's take a look at deeper self-love. Pay attention to how we respond, react. Really pay attention to how you might be internalizing what men do and making you the problem. Because as a whole, men are going through a major transition right now. And there's a lot of heightened feelings in general with men. And they're reacting in all sorts of ways around this shift that's happening. And so that's an opportunity for them to look at their shadows and to do their internal work. And it has nothing to do with you. I hope that's helpful. That's all the time we have for today. Until next time, stay conscious, pay attention, and if you don't, notice.